What's up, you guys? This is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today we are back with another installment of Rob Reads You Shit that you probably don't want to read yourself. However, it is going to be a little bit more of a condensed version. As we were talking about yesterday, today's Hotfix notes are supposed to be 17 pages long, and there's definitely a lot of stuff in there, some things that you probably won't care about. However, I did take the time and go and scan through and find a couple things that might have gotten a bit buried. However, we'll cover some of the bigger topics right now, so let's start on in. DE Megan posted on the Beast of the Sanctuary update 22.20.0. That's a lot of twos and a good amount of zeros. And she started talking about the update with Saryn Revisited. Our Lady of Poison is taking center stage with Saryn Revisited 2.0. Yes, that's right, she's been revisited for a second time. That's why we call it a re-revisit, okay? I'm just saying. And this time we took a closer look at increasing the fun factor by removing layers of complicated synergies and giving Toxin Lash and Molt a long-deserved encore. Read all about the intent and full details in the official Saryn Revisited 2.0 dev workshop. So, very simple. Spores inflicts with a pox of corrosive spores. Spread spores to nearby enemies by destroying them or killing their host. Trigger the ability again to detonate active spores. Additionally, increase status chance from 10 to 50%, scales with ability strength. A meter in the bottom right corner of your screen will show the number of affected enemies and how much damage is being dealt per tick to said enemies. Recasting the spores detonates all active spores and will deal 2 times the damage on an inflicted enemy based on the number of active spores and the current damage per tick. Venom Dose Augment spores cast on all allies temporarily grant them additional corrosive damage to all attacks. Molt. Shedding her skin. I wonder why they didn't. I guess they did say it's a pox of corrosive spores. Okay, I see it. Like they put it in there, but they didn't blatantly say that it's now corrosion. Molt. Shedding her skin like a snake, Saryn leaves a decoy behind to draw fire from enemies. Additionally, after casting, Saryn receives a momentary speed boost for a short duration. Molt now scales similar to Rhino's Iron Skin. All the initial damage it takes in the first 3 seconds will make it stronger. Any damage it receives after that point will target the absorbed health. Yeah, I guess will target the absorbed health. Damage absorbed is shown in a buff indicator at the top of the screen. Once all absorbed damage has dispensed, Molt explodes, dealing toxin damage to nearby enemies. Toxic Lash. While active, all attacks deal additional toxin damage. This effect is doubled for melee strikes. Initially, burst spores when attacking afflicted enemies. Additionally, increased duration from 30 seconds to 45 seconds. Toxin Lash no longer grants 2 energy restore when bursting spores. With the new spreading nature of spores, survivability of Molt, and the increased duration of Toxic Lash and Miasma, Saryn is not as energy hungry as she was before. The Contagion Cloud Augment kills with Toxic Lash leave behind a Toxic Cloud, and melee kills double the damage dealt by the cloud. Miasma. Release a poisonous miasma that deals viral damage to enemies in range. Foes affected by spores are more susceptible to the mist. Additionally, now has a 100% guaranteed viral status effect on damage tick, increased range from 15 meters to 20 meters, increased duration from 3 to 5 seconds. Miasma inflicts double damage on targets affected by spores. When recasting on the same enemy, it will refresh the tick duration and maintain the viral status effect, but will not stun enemies a second time until the status effect ticks have subsided. Now, big thing to note here is that she did get a boost to the range of Miasma. It's not the biggest boost in the world, but with range mods and everything, which definitely seems to be something that they want to push with this, it seems like it's going to be pretty damn good. So I can't wait to actually go ahead and test that. And I'll let you guys know too, this is just kind of like the instant update. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys more in-depth stuff on Saryn and other things to come. So Saryn's armor is increased from 175 to 225 at 30, and then Saryn Prime's armor increased from 225 to 300. They made some minor FX changes to Saryn's abilities. Spores received a slight improvement to the FX, reduced the brightness of Miasma, improved FX to make her Molt cast more pronounced. Spores have been optimized and will be much nicer to your CPU. Yay! Saryn is also coming with a whole new set of sounds voiced by DE Danielle, added abilities, screen stats for Saryn's Molt, and speed buff duration. We hope you enjoy experimenting with her changes. We will be watching closely for your first impressions. As always, we appreciate your constructive feedback and encourage you to thoroughly play the rework before sharing your thoughts. AKA, shut the fuck up, don't say nothing for at least a day or 2. And you better have been playing her that whole entire day, because we don't need all that shit. Then we got the Dojo remaster, which is fine and dandy. You can make your obstacle courses, all that kind of stuff. There's new pigments, which I think are going to be interesting. Shard Black from Vomblist, Tower White from Kondrox, Devar Grey from the Tusk Bombards, Wisp Grey from the Skiff Pilots, and Mortis Pink for the Kwakas. So at least you guys can go ahead and check that out. Again, this is not one of the big things that I'm going to be covering. I'm not a Dojo person. I think Mogamu might force me to do it. But we'll go ahead and move on down where they have added the GPU particles, which replace the no longer supported NVIDIA PhysX particles. These GPU particles can be enjoyed on all platforms with varying intensity, low, off, medium, high, and ludicrous. We're actually going to go ahead and test that at the end of the video so that you guys can see that as well, because I'm curious as much as you are. Many particle effects have been converted, but we'll spend time continuing to upgrade our catalog throughout the year. Our new system is universal, works on almost all GPUs, really old ones might be out of luck, is not locked to a given manufacturer, and is not locked to PC. Console Tenno will receive the next update, exciting! So Console Tenno, you get something pretty to look at. Moving along, there are some new Samaris offerings. We actually have 3 new mods. Let's go ahead and switch to display capture, because you can probably see that a little bit better here. We have Negate, which is for the worm. Sentinel prevents status effects from applying to its owner once every 5 seconds. That's actually pretty nice. So it'll take off any of those nasty slash procs that you get, especially at higher levels. Jin, which is reawakened. This one is exciting. Upon death, automatically revives itself after 90 seconds. Listen, Jin is one of those like unsung sentinels. This one is a really, really good sentinel. It's got good CC, and now it'll actually auto revive itself, which is pretty fucking fantastic. That one I might actually play with. I might actually give that a shot, because I did like the Jin a lot. Carrier Looter Reworked Original destroys loot crates within 12 meters. I don't. Listen, loot crates, don't really care about loot crates. We can leave that with EA. Between you and me, I really don't give a shit. So, now we have the data parse widget. The synthesis scanner will now show target enemy weaknesses and resistance. That is really dope. Controller plus cursor changes. This is the one where you'll be able to use keyboard and controller. So if you guys are out there and you really, really, really want to play with controller for some reason, you do that. We have the Scrambus / Combra changes. The Corpus are crafty and have found ways to combat the awesome abilities of Warframes. Their tactics help diversify gameplay, but the ability to counterplay is key. We made some tweaks in the past to nullifiers with counterplay in mind, and now we've set our sights, or tried to at least, on the invisible auras of the Scrambus and Combra. If you watch DevStream 110, you might be familiar with our plans to change the Scrambus Combra. Players can now engage in more cerebral combat with these enemies using visual cues to take them down. Their Nullify aura has been replaced with a power that they can activate in combat. That's damn good, because here's the thing. Sometimes you just walk in and you're like, I'm about to use an ability, and it's locked out and you have no clue why. But at least this way, you can tell that they're about to cast an ability, so it's not instant. They actually have to actively do it. Upon use, it creates an expanding sphere that nullifies players' powers and disrupts them for 2.5 seconds. It's actually pretty decent. Similar to the way shooting nullifier bubbles or weak points can interrupt, preventing the aura from spreading, shooting off Scrambus Combra's helmets or killing them will negate the sphere. Next up, we have the Darjans, which you can now steal. Shoot the pilot, causing the Darjan to float gracefully to the ground so that you can jump in there. Or you can actually switch teleport to the pilot, leaving him grounded and confused. Use the finisher from behind while using Arcwing, allowing you to transition from Arcwing to Darjan. Okay, so you can actually go from Arcwing into not that I don't understand why you would want to go from Arcwing into Darjan, but being able to finish off an enemy, that's pretty dope. Let's go ahead and show that on screen real quick too. Look at this is kind of cool. Like, you could just kind of fly on in real quick, as you can see, Arcwing, and then you do a finisher, and then boom, now the motherfucker's dead, and you're flying off with his goddamn Darjan. That is pretty goddamn cool. While we're here, we'll look at the spearfishing HUD changes. You guys know I don't know jack shit about fishing, but they've made it a little bit easier, because now apparently you can also we've added sophisticated new HUD to your aquatic hunt for brains, bones, and delicious spleen. They didn't say anything about being able to melee while in here, right? Selecting a spear in your gear wheel will open the fishing HUD, where you can switch between spear, spy, and bait on the fly. We'll have to try that at some point because I know that they were trying to introduce melee in there as well. So if anything did attack you while you were fishing, you'd be able to go ahead and melee them. So that's definitely a thing. And then, of course, we have the Equinox helmet. Let's go ahead and jump in and actually show how that looks. I'm going to be honest with you. Oh, by the way. Grenier shipyards and defense layout flow changes, improved defense target navigation, adjusted additional enemy spawn locations for each defense location, get AI more of a 3 degree 50 attack options, adjusted turrets within the level, added additional cover and attack routes for AI. The rail upon which the defense tram travels is now electrified. Okay, be careful, don't get electrified by that. Anyway, we're gonna move on because really you want to take a look at this Equinox helmet, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I actually think it looks even better in game. I'm into it. I am super duper into it. Let's take a close look. Does it actually? No, it doesn't get any closer with that. But we actually look pretty gosh darn cool there, right? And here's the night set. And I know a lot of people were kind of like meh about the day set, but I actually I enjoy the day set more than I did in the actual art. I think it looks super dope. Super dope. I'm gonna have to revisit Equinox a little bit and maybe do some color schemes for her, but I am a big fan. I like how this one kind of comes out to a little point. It's almost like bird-like. I'm into it. There's the mixed form. I really like I wish we could tint the metallic, but I really like how it's got the metallic face on there. It's a little bit more pronounced. But let's go ahead and take a look at what's next in the patch notes. So we got the alternate helmet, fantastic. We got the peculiar mods, a new growing peculiar mod. So that one is the one that's going to cause things to be a little bit more bulbous, and it just causes them to inflate. The operator screen now displays a new opening UI switch between equipment focus and appearance. Nice. So that way you can actually start with that. So actually, let's take a look at that in game real fast because I think that's a neat new augment. They've done a lot of UI stuff specifically in this update, I've noticed. So let's take a look at that. So we've got a couple different ones. So we could actually go into appearance. We can go into equipment, and there's the equipment now. We can go into the focus. There's the focus now. That's nice. It's like a nice way to start it off. There you go. Cool. All right, so that's a great start. Let's go ahead and run on back up there with this damn slick helmet and finish off because there are a couple little notes that I did want to point off in there, and we're kind of slowly getting to them. All right, so there's a bunch of things that I don't really care about. That's really not all that interesting. Let's see. There's added the ability to replay the Once Awake quest. That one's, I don't know why people would want that, but if you do want to do that, you can do that now. Objects that attract weapon fire like Mag's magnetize ability now do so in a more logical way. Cool. Added a claim all button to the foundry that appears when you have more than one item ready to claim. Very nice. Weekly leaderboards will now show a reset timer. Very important for you guys. The next thing that I did want to address, and let's go ahead and turn on the display, is they are doing some Captura changes so that you guys can kind of see what's going on with them. To ease the tedious ritual of creating your cinematic masterpiece and Hydroid Prime trailers, we have added a new camera edit UI to the advanced mode settings. We now show you what camera is being highlighted in advanced mode, added tooltips to help you know what's going on in the settings. Captura text now support commas, nice. Improve the speed multiplier controls for controllers. Fix cinematic mode button not reappearing when swapping settings. Alright, fantastic. The next one that we're going to jump into, we'll actually take a look at this one in-game because I'm really excited for this one. I'm really excited. Let's highlight Miss Khora because she got some changes as well. This actually feels kind of crazy because I do feel like there's been a lot of things going on. Let's take a look at, no, it's just standard stats like that. So, they increased the range of ensnare. Fantastic. Removed the line of sight check from ensnare to make it more reliable. Even better. Range mods now affect Whip Claw's AoE radius, but it's capped. I believe it's capped at 2 times. Khora's Whip Claw can now damage decorations, crates, barrels, etc. There's been so many times when I've tried to break crates with those things, and legitimately, I was like, nothing. I was like, okay, fine. Khora's Kavat now teleports to a given target instead of pathing there if the target is too far away. if the target is too far away, how far away is too far away, DE? Let me know. Changed Khora's Venari's animation from Domestic Kavat to Feral Kavat. Okay. Adjusted a number of side donors to fit Khora better, and tweaked Venari command sounds. Let's see if there's anything else. Fixed Khora's Whip Claw on a target, causing all enemies affected by ensnare to be released when the target is killed with ensnare. This one was particularly nasty in practice and made her kit feel weak. So this is gonna make her kit feel even stronger. That's cool. That's a bad bug. Fixed Khora's Venari getting locked in her attack mode when attempting Mastery rank tests, which can cause failures on stealth. Infinite re-whipping for Khora's Whip Claw by flailing the camera around rapidly. Ooh, what did I do? What did I do? No, I jumped to the bottom by accident. That's not what I meant to do at all. Let me go ahead and find my place. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Alright, and then I believe that's kind of the big meaty part for it. Fix Osprey's not being disabled by Khora's ensnare, and fix Venari freezing in place when entering Cetus in the plains. So nothing too crazy. Now the next one is something that I did think was big and I thought that a lot of people would miss. Napalm and Rocket Bombard quality of life changes. Bombard all variants. Reduced explosion radius from 6 meters to 4 meters. Yes! Yes! Thank fucking God, those jackasses. Lower the Tusk Bombard's base health from 350 to 300. Fix the smoke trail behind the rocket to persist for life of projectile. Trail was disappearing after 8 seconds of flight time, making it very hard to see the rocket. So we should be able to get some better visuals on there to track these goddamn rockets. Napalm, all variants. So we've got napalm changes as well. Reduce the explosion radius from 10 meters to 4 meters. Fan-fucking-tastic. Reduced lifetime of fire explosion from 10 seconds to 7 seconds. Added a damage element to those fire effects, minor heat damage, and heat proc if touched. If the flame trail behind a rocket to persist for life of projectile, trail was disappearing after 5 seconds of flight time, making it hard. Alright. Then we've also got changes. So the melee attack changes, including spin attacks, will no longer sweep through walls or objects. Please read our dev workshop for melee insights. They made numerous weapons have been PBR'd. So the Flux Rifle, Lanka, Graham, Kraken, Merlock, Grinlock, Cronin, Karak, Twin Gremlins, Brack, and the Seer. The Seer has also received a new scope effects. Nice. The Ceramic Dagger look has received a new look. Previously, it was identical to the Cronus. They made micro optimizations to hundreds of scripts, including Warframe powers, precepts, enemy logic, weapon behaviors, game modes, and the UI. So hopefully everything like that works well. Harrow's Condemned Thurible and Gara's Shattered Lash Stab can now be used on ziplines. Nice. Gara's Splinter Storm now applies a HUD buff when cast on self to help manage when casting on many targets. Nice. Eidolon Lurels will wait until the Eidolon has fully disappeared to be auto-destroyed instead of being auto-destroyed when the sun rises at dawn. We've been wanting that for so freaking long. We've been wanting that for so freaking long, and now it's finally here, you guys doing your Tridolons. You should be very, very happy for that, just in case you're not able to get that second batch in, or maybe even the third batch, depending on how absolutely crazy nuts you guys are. So I think those were the big ones that I really wanted to check. There's some UI stuff that has come through, like they've updated several ability stat descriptions to make them clearer, standardized formats across all Warframe and ability descriptions, e.g. range meters number to range number, health over time number to health per second number. So that's kind of like one of those things. It's really a different thing, like changed range to radius for several Warframe abilities. So it's definitely things that you can check out. There's also another one, which is Syndicate pickups are now auto marked on first pickup. There are a ton of things. If you have the Skyrion Zephyr skin too, check that one out because it's more metallic now instead of matte. But there is tons. Oh, and the Muhusu Sayandana is now animated. That is absolutely crazy. This one's another scary one. Exodia Contagion's Infested Grenade 30-meter damage multiplier now takes into account your combo multiplier. That is fucking fantastic. And I think those are the big ones that I really did want to go ahead and cover. Everything is just like is just fixes. Tons and tons and tons and tons of fixes. So if you've had any bugs that you were having issues with and you really want to kind of do that, you can go ahead and do a search on the screen to see what things got touched. But for now, I say that we go ahead and take a look at some of the visual effects that are out there. And we're going to go ahead and just jump on into the simulacrum and see how that all plays out real quick, because I'm interested. I want to see how this all works out. Alrighty, so as you can see here, we are in the options window and we're taking a look under display for GPU particles. I currently have that on high, and I want to do a little bit of a compare and contrast for people whose systems might get affected by this. I was a little bit worried, but I actually brought up the task manager and started looking at the stats of everything when I swapped from high into ludicrous, and really there didn't seem to be any kind of hit at all. Of course, as always, this is in the simulacrum, so this isn't necessarily with a bunch of other players using their abilities as well. That might change things up a little bit, but I figured why not go ahead and show you how this works. So we do have the GPU particles on high, and we've got Ember here. So let's go ahead and start with a little bit of a fireball. Look at those. That's nice. All right. So we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of accelerant, and then we're going to do the ring of fire. I don't know what it's called. Just call it fire ring. Fire blast. And look at all of these teensy tiny particles that are like floating around. For me, I don't remember that on the original one. Oh, now they faded away. But yeah, I don't remember that from the original one at all. And I really like the way that World on Fire looks with this now. You can see these, the main thing is you see these little tiny particles kind of like are emitted from her. I like them. I definitely, if I'm going to be frank with you, they do look a little bit different than the NVIDIA particles, but they still look pretty gosh darn good. Let me go ahead and refill on energy real quick, and we'll go ahead and compare that to ludicrous. All right, so again, we're going to go into options, and then we're going to go into display, and I'm going to completely lose where this is, so we're going to go up to ludicrous, and we'll show the difference, because here's the thing, some people might have some issues, and you know, I want you guys to see what the difference is going to be like. So again, we've got fireball. I'm going to be honest with you, I see a lot more, I see a good amount more particle effects, but I don't feel like it would crazily affect my gameplay in a big way if I were not using it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like it's a do or die. Like, I must have the ludicrous effects. The ludicrous effects definitely look nice, but if it is taking a hit to your GPU, you could tell here. There's like, it looks like a lot more. Remember we were talking about how like there's all these little particles earlier? There's definitely a lot more in there. But I don't think that's going to be a make it or break it for me, because high is definitely gorgeous. High is definitely already really, really pretty as it is. So I don't necessarily feel like that is going to necessarily be a make it or break it. So don't feel bad if you can't do that. Let's go ahead and take a look at maybe 1 or 2 more frames. We always take a look at Banshee when this comes out. Let's take a look at Banshee. Because of the fact that she's got her sonic. I feel like the sonic boom is very telling of particles. So that's sonic boom with ludicrous. Let's go ahead and turn ludicrous off and see exactly how it differentiates. So let's go on down, because I know a lot of people are going to want to end up running this on ludicrous, right? Because it's just called ludicrous. You got to. And I'm going to run this on ludicrous. Yeah, it doesn't feel like a world of difference. So for anybody out there who really, really feels like, you know, they're worried about this, are they going to be able to do stuff? Let's see what this looks like. It still look, well, there's not really too many particles. She looks like she's farting though at this angle, so I guess that's a thing. But let's see if we can't take a look at maybe one more frame who has some pretty good particles on her. Anybody in my mind, I really have no clue who I want to maybe use this with. Maybe some Khora action, maybe some mag action, maybe some limbo action. I mean, Ninja's always got really great particles, but I don't think he really has like the splattery particle effects. Maybe a little bit of Oberon Prime. Let's go ahead and toss that out there. Let's see if there's anything. I don't really think that there's much there. Okay, well, let's take another look. Let's take another look at that one real fast, because ooh, the balls even have, oh, yeah, okay, we can see there. And then let's go ahead and take a look at that on ludicrous, and then we'll go ahead and call it a day on that, so I can go ahead and start. Ooh, no, high particles, GPU particles, ludicrous. Let's see if this makes some world of difference. Okay, yeah, you see, like, I'll be honest, that one kind of made a big difference on that. Let's grab these fuckers right here and see and see what happens. Alright. Toss out a little carpet so we can break that aura. Toss out a little bit of that action. Woo! Okay, Smite's looking really good. Let's do a little bit of that. Okay. There's really only one way to do it. You really do gotta go in with... You gotta go in and you gotta get a little Smite action in there. What if we channel? What if we melee channel? I know my colors don't quite match. I know my colors don't quite match, but okay. Okay, I'm... Good job, I saw that. I'm seeing the beautiful, wonderful, glorious majesty of this. So I very, very much approve. I very much enjoyed that. I will be running mine on Ludicrous, but now at least you know the difference. I don't think that it's like a crazy amount of difference, but I think it's enough of a difference to make it go, ooh, fancy. So that about does it for me for now. Leave all of your feelings down in the comments below, and don't forget to check back because we will be doing like a full-on review of Saryn after I, you know, test her out and do a little bit more playing and kind of like really get a feel for the new variant. Regardless, that about does it for me for now. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!